I have never seen any Yoruba newspaper campaign for the designation of Miyetti Allah as a terrorist group. None whatsoever. Because if we are still talking about one Nigeria, maybe one day it will be our turn to go back to Asarok again. One of the hottest regions that experienced the end SARS protest is Yoruba land. And for very good reason, for that matter. But Obasanjo was in Asarok for 8 years. Did your lives improve? Jonathan was in office for 6 years. Go to Bayelsa and see how horrible life is there. Yar'adua was in office. Today, go to Katsina. The late Buhari, and in whose name this present fraud is in Asarok now. Go to Katsina. Are they not kidnapping people? But I keep saying this, that people don't understand it. It's very simple logic. People prefer US visa, Canadian visa, New Zealand visa, Australian visa, Schengen visa, British visa, to living in the zoo. And I asked them, the president of America, is he from your village? I mean, not all of you campaigning for tribal presidency. He's the turn of an Igbo man. He's the turn of a Yoruba man. It must come to the south. Let me ask you, all of you have houses in Dubai. You travel to America, or some of you have houses in London. In England, is the Queen of England from your village? So what it means in actual fact is that it doesn't matter where somebody comes from. It doesn't matter where a president comes from. What matters is the policies that individual is pursuing. Do you think we are that primitive and that crude enough to support any venture as daft as Igbo presidency? Look at Jonathan. I'm asking you a simple question. Look at Jonathan. Is Bayelsa any better? The so-called South-South? Look at Yoruba land. My very good father, Paya, the Banjodos who are campaigning, these are serious, learned men, campaigning for Nigeria to change. But they had their own son. Obasanjo was there for 8 years. They created billionaires like Otedola and Adenuga that owns Glo. Obasanjo empowered a few people to become billionaires, that's all. An ordinary Yoruba man or woman is suffering the same way an ordinary Biafran man and woman is suffering, the same way an ordinary middle belt man and woman is suffering, the same way even Hausa man is suffering and woman, even Fulani is suffering. Do you understand what I'm saying? Do you understand what I'm saying? You allowed them to divide you. I remember NSAS very well. Shoyinka was talking about it a few days ago. You know, when you come out for a revolution, you must go to the end. No revolution is pretty. Before next time, of course, there's going to be protests next, and we are going to lead it. When next you are planning to come out to protest, before you do so, go and study the history of revolution. Russian Revolution, French Revolution, the Commonwealth, which is Cromwell's revolution in England, and George Washington's revolution in America. You can even read Chairman Mao's revolution. They are not pretty. They are not pleasant, I'm telling you. If you think that revolution is that you come out on the street, you dance to musicians, because you have seen Flavor, you have seen other musicians, you think that it's going to be a carnival, jamboree. No, it is not. They are only starting it. When the revolution failed was when Yoruba media allowed themselves to be used because they thought that should Nigeria collapse, Tinubu will not be president in 2023. That's all. So they kept writing. They kept writing. They introduced ethnicity. They brought in tribe. They brought in religion. They kept pumping your brain with rubbish, with nonsense every blessed day. Because you were not mentally tuned or tough enough to realize that in every revolution, things are very, very difficult. Because you failed to understand this. That was why you messed up. Everybody went home. You started looking for bags of rice, bags of beans. I'm sure that some of you have finished those palliative bills that got 1 carton of Indomie. The palliative is gone. And you're still in pain and in suffering. Had we remained on the streets, forgotten about palliatives, remained on the streets, by now the zoo would have collapsed. But you know, Yoruba media, they would like you to blame somebody. You want to blame. There has to be somebody to blame. Oh, he's Nnamdi Kanu. Oh, he made a broadcast. Stupid idiots. As if during revolution there's no broadcast. Go and read Chairman Mao in China, the Cultural Revolution. Go and read about the Bolsheviks in Russia. Go and read about Oliver Cromwell. Oliver Cromwell caught the King of England, King Charles I, and cut off his head. You know what he said to Charles before he killed him? I want to prove to you that your blood is not blue but red like ours. I want to prove to you that you're a human being like all of us here. Oliver Cromwell cut off the head of a crowned king of Europe, King Charles I of England. Can you imagine people going to what's it called? To Asarok to cut off the head of this little boy from Yusuf Mohammed from Niger Republic. Hey, media will, what they write, oh my God. So a revolution is not pretty. If you're not prepared mentally for a revolution, then don't come out. People were saying that we are breaking into prisons and releasing people during the NSAS revolution. I said, why not? In France today, they celebrate the Bastille Day. Bastille was a prison. When the revolution started, the people went to the prison and they let every inmate out. That is called the revolution. You don't know. Oh, they went to prison. They're releasing prisoners, hoodlums and hoodlums. Idiots. They failed to realize that it was a revolution. A revolution. You have finished your two packets of Indomie from warehouse. Typical black people chasing food. Today, where is that food? You have eaten it, you have been to the toilet, it's over. And you're still suffering, you're in pain. And I reminded that was exactly what Che Guevara said when he came to Congo to fight. Che Guevara said, I cannot, when he went back to Latin America, they asked him, why did you come? He said, I cannot stay in Africa. An African man does not know how to put the need of his freedom before his stomach. He always wants to eat. Food, always. That was why he came back and went back to Latin America. The reason why I said this was because the Yoruba media is a problem in Nigeria. I'm telling you the truth. They have messed everything up. IPOB is proscribed, Nnamdi Kanu proscribed. They keep writing junk every day from idiots who don't exist. But I want to tell them something. The same Yoruba paper carried the headline, Punch. Our abductors spoke Fulfude, collected 4.5 million ransom, kidnapped Kaduna PFN chairman. PFN is Pentecostal Fellowship of Nigeria. This man, his name is Apostle Emmanuel Bago. He is telling you that those that kidnapped him, they spoke Fulfude, which means they are Fulani people. Only Fulani. That was the language I said to Yusuf Mohammed now that Jubril has run away. I asked Yusuf, come out and speak Fulfude. If you claim you're Buhari, because Buhari spoke fluent Fulfude. But of course, we are dealing with zoo animals. This man said it was Fulanis that kidnapped us. But the same newspaper will never recommend that all these Fulani bandits groups Miyetti be proscribed. No, not at all. Do you know why? Because they don't threaten their interest of a Bola Ahmed Tinubu presidency in 2023. Now you understand. These are the type of newspapers and media houses you have in the zoo. They were the ones that came out at the height of the revolution and started writing rubbish. A very famous person talked about, I just want to talk about this End SARS protest for a minute because I've not spoken about it before now. Somebody said they were destroying properties, burning infrastructure, burning BLT or BRT bus, you know, the Lagos bus that was burnt down. Black people without conscience. My response to those individuals is this. They used those buses to transport thugs from Mushi to protest sites to Lekki Toll Gate to go and kill and attack peaceful protesters. That was why that very depot was burnt down. But when they write this, they are junk. They never go to the beginning. It's just like DSS, who are every day they keep writing rubbish. Of course, Punch and all these other stupid newspapers, they keep helping them writing rubbish every blessed day. About how I jumped bail, how Nnamdi Kanu is a fugitive. They think if they keep writing it and Google keeps prioritizing it, or somehow when I travel to America to speak to lawmakers, somehow they say, oh, you're a fugitive, I won't talk to you. See, they think that white people are stupid, as stupid as they are. Do you understand what I'm saying? They think that white people are as stupid as they are. The same newspapers, they have the video of the raid of my house when the army came to kill me, as a result of which 28 of my men died. They are aware of it. My cousin died. As a result of it, my father and my mother died of the trauma from it. They know, they have the video. And they go to church, some of them. They go to the mosque, some of them, and they read and they study. They don't know who we are. They don't know that the anointing of the Almighty Elohim is upon us. They have no idea. And when they don't soldier, I said to them, I am in a very wonderful company. Pharaoh went after Moses. Is that true or false? Herod went after baby Jesus. Joseph and Mary took Jesus to Egypt. They fled to Egypt. Prophet Muhammad fled from Mecca to Medina. So I'm in a very wonderful company, you see. Those with the anointing of God, that is how it is. You come to kill them, you cannot kill them. But the zoo newspapers will never write about it. They want to give the world the impression that I had a court case and I don't want to appear. Nigerian, to tell you the wickedness and the evil of the mind of a black man. Very evil. Very evil. And I don't want to blame DSS for what they are doing. They are doing their job, trying their best to be a propaganda organization. They are doing their best. But I want to let them understand, the newspapers in the zoo, Vanguard, Punch, and all these idiots writing junk all the time, that I am in a very good company. When you talk about those who escaped or who survived the state-sponsored assassination, when you mention Moses, you mention Jesus, you mention Prophet Muhammad, then you mention Nnamdi Kanu. Now you understand it, don't you? Those who are killing and abducting you in Kaduna are Fulani people, according to Apostle Emmanuel Bako. But out of fear and timidity, Yoruba newspapers will not write about or write against Fulani Janjaweedism, because they want a pot of porridge in 2023 with Tinubu presidency. Typical black people. When their wives are pregnant, the editor of Punch newspaper, when the wife is pregnant, she will go to America to go and give birth. And I ask them, in that America you're going to, is Biden that is now coming in a Yoruba man? But in the zoo, Nigeria, you're writing about a Yoruba presidency. It must come to the south. Those morons in the East are writing about Igbo presidency. But your families are in America and all over Europe. Is Boris Johnson from your village? People want a country that is run properly based on policies, not the ethnicity of the idiot in Asarok. Very simple.